You'll never generate a loyal customer from a loyalty program. Customers that only buy because of the loyalty program aren't loyal customers to begin with.
AI-driven personalization's already in play, but how much more? Is this something that they are going to develop, or is it something that AI can completely replace?
The way that buying power is shifting to our millennials and especially Gen Zs, the only ones that are going to be trusted are going to be video reviews.
Yes, I think AI is going to improve the subscription billing platform.
But I think we're going to see over the next 3 to 5 years, loyalty through memberships type of a concept.
Every business operates their procurement, inventory management on the ERP side of the company completely different, even people in the same space. So it's so hard to create an ERP that anyone can use out of the box. You got to use people here. Welcome to the Awesome Pod, where we talk a lot. E-com is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop. Amir from the agency and Jimmy from SaaS. John has an Android, but give him a pass, cause he's an operator building brands like a carpenter. And that's Brian, he is the marketer. Like I said, this the Awesome Pod, where we talk a lot. E-com is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Awesome Pod, a show about perspective from the eyes of an agency, SaaS, operator, and marketer focused on D2C, e-commerce, and the retail space. With over 55 years of combined business experience, founding over 12 different companies in our career, we are excited to bring you this episode. Going around the room, I've got John Roman, Android-loving survival king. I've got Amir Grosnich, the formerly known as the Prince of Bosnia. Why are you looking at me like that?
You messed up my name again.
It's close enough.
It's not.
And he's also the future mayor of Chicago as well. We've got Brian McDonald, the self-proclaimed funniest dude on LinkedIn. And my name is Jimmy Kim. I'm the moderator, and I'm the coolest guy here on the pod.
Yeah.
I like this one.
One of the coolest guys on the pod?
I am
There's
the
four
coolest
of
guy.
us.
The coolest guy. The coolest guy.
One, okay.
All right. Real quick, where do you want to hang out with us? Creators Combine, right? That's where you can find the awesome community. It's available for agencies, SaaS, operators, and marketers. Private community. We do a lot of cool stuff together. Come check us out. And don't forget, please subscribe to theawesomepod.com to be alerted and join our newsletter. All right, guys, new year, spicy topic. Figured we kick this year off with something a little fun and something a little bit different. As you probably saw in the title, it's called SaaS Hot or Not. Let's discuss something that we see as we're predicting the future, because it's a new year and that's a time we all ultimately want to predict the future. Listen, every e-commerce store has a tech stack. What we're going to do here today is we're going to pick out the categories. And don't worry, SaaS friends, we're not going to call you out by name. That's not our goal here. Our goal is to really talk about the category and talk about what we're doing. And before anyone gets offended, we pick 10 categories that we believe are the major and most commonly used products, because most people are using like 30, 40 tools and we don't have enough time to go through all of them. So I prioritized by 10 that we have. So here's the game, all right? It's SaaS Hot or Not. I'm going to talk about each one of these topics. And what I want to talk about is very simple. One, how do we see the future of this market? Is it going to stay relevant and important? How do we see disruption? And how do we look at AI into the future of this? And do we see disruption over the AI? You guys have already heard my hot take around the future of AI and SaaS and the fact that it's changing and evolving, and more people are going to own different things in-house. And I think next year is going to be the year we start seeing some of that start to happen as people start bringing it back in, create downloadables and all that good stuff. So I'm going to start off with the number one and the most expensive thing on the P&L outside of the shopping cart, which is Shopify. I don't think that's going anywhere, so that's not a discussion point just yet. But we're going to talk about all things marketing automation. I'm talking about email, SMS, push. It's the foundational tool that all e-commerce companies are using to drive customer engagement and retention. And with my background, I'll start with the most intelligent offering, right? I think this is the most intelligent to me because I have the background with it. But here's the thing, and I want to kind of lay this down. These tools can be found for pretty much free in the market at some level or another. And what I'm talking about is, like, if I want to do marketing automation, email marketing automation, you can buy tools that do a lot of the things that SendLane or Klaviyo or any of these tools are doing in the market. They're absolutely free. You just need something called an SMTP provider. And even that is, well, it's not that hard to do as much as it used to be back in the day. So I'd love to start off and say, what do you guys think? Is it hot or not? And how do you guys think about this in the future of your business? And how do you see it being continued to be disrupted?
Yeah.
I'll start with you, John.
Yeah, so I'm going to say hot. The thing I like, and not everything in this category is, but what I do like about this category, a lot of the tools, it's really easy to articulate and see visually what the return on investment is. And when I'm looking at my tech stack, I love this straightforward, very simple answer.
Like, you know that this dollar is being generated out of this channel.
Every dollar here is on my email provider is going to generate me $7 or whatever the number is.
Sure.
there's value in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I don't think all of these tools, they're push notifications, for example, right? Whether we're talking app push or Chrome push, that might work for some brands and it might deliver a positive ROI. But there's some where it's just taking away from, it's robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Sure.
So overall hot because I think it's really easy to track.
Brian?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with hot here too. It's pretty cool because for the most part, right, the more that you're able to utilize this specific software, the more money that you generate, but not necessarily, unless you're sending out SMS, I'm just talking strictly email here. For the most part, it doesn't really increase your costs exponentially in comparison to what you get from the output of the revenue that's generated from it. And I think that's one of the only software channels in which that's the case, right? Where we're talking
the highest driver, yeah.
Where
It's
we're,
gonna be the highest driver
where we're
most
talking like subscription, for an example. If you have 1 million subscribers tomorrow, your cost is going to go through the roof to hold those million subscribers, but that's not necessarily the case with email. So I'm going to play hot.
Mayor?
I'm still hot on it. I think there's going to be a little bit of an evolution with these tools. They're going to become smarter, better, and things like that. But I think for the near future, I would say in the next 2 to 3 years, still hot.
Yeah, I'm very much hot on this one. I'm bullish on this category just because I don't think AI is going to be smart enough to go figure this thing out yet. I think that there's already been free tools, as I mentioned, in the market that do a lot of these things that you can do and people still won't go to them because it's a lot to manage. Because A, to your points, very important channel and very makes you a lot of money. And B, there's a complication and the data set that comes into it. So I'm hot on that one. I think all four of us can agree that I assume that we get there with this one. But let's go to the next one because I think the next one will be different. Loyalty programs, okay? Loyalty programs help retain customers and boost lifetime value, incentivizing repeat purchase. Brian, I'm going to start with you because I believe you have a hot take here.
Yeah, I have a hot take by saying not meaning that like I hate loyalty programs. I despise them. I'm not a fan at all. And here's why. I buy Zins every day. Sometimes I am in a good mood and I buy 2 every day. I've been buying these for years. And someone goes, have you been utilizing the reward loyalty program that Zin offers in the back of the can?
I didn't know that.
I didn't even know that existed. And I've purchased 2,000 of these things. And I never even knew that it was a thing because I'm going to buy this regardless of whether I'm a loyal customer. And I firmly believe customers that only buy because of the loyalty program aren't loyal customers to begin with. And you'll never generate a loyal customer from a loyalty program. Loyalty is driven by emotion. Loyalty is driven by connection and personal feelings and product quality, not what the brand is offering the consumer to buy their product.
So if you're not, is it not that you don't even think that it's a category and important, or is it not in that you could see AI replacing it?
Not in every aspect, but more importantly, it is a very, very easy software in my eyes for AI to replicate in the near future. I mean, they're not that complex. They're all based off of some sort of point system, some sort of tree that the algorithm says if you have this many points, you get this. So I think that the simplicity of loyalty programs can easily be swallowed up, and we're going to see them be swallowed up.
All right. John, you are not only an investor, but you're an advisor to a loyalty company, right? So I would love to hear your hot or not take.
Well, I'm glad Brian disagrees, but I think just because you don't do the Zen rewards thing doesn't mean that
Jerry from down the
does,
street,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So I think of 2 quick examples. One, my wife the day I was leaving, she's like scanning something on the diapers. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I don't know if it was Pampers or whatever the other one is, but I guess you get points for every bag, every box of, and she's doing the points. And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. So she's an example of someone that does do it, right?
Okay.
If she was a Zen person, which she's not, but she would be scanning it. I look at 2 companies that I have ridiculous loyalty to, and that's American Express and Delta. Both of them have rewards programs. Both of their rewards programs keep me stuck. It is the ultimate retention tool. I already like the brands, but man, their loyalty programs, I see how many miles or I see how many points I have. Marriott is another one that I'm big on, Bonvoy. And I see that and I just stay loyal. I already like the brands that they represent they are, but man, the points, it reaffirms that I'm making the right decision.
Those are really good examples. Actually, I never even thought about the hotel airline thing.
I'm with John. I'm going to even take a different position. I use Marriott, I use United. I'm very, very loyal to them. But the reason I'm loyal to Marriott is not necessarily the points, but...
You don't like the points? You don't like the points?
No. The points is not necessarily through my experience what made the experience better. What makes it better is when I go there and they'll say, you're so member, we're going to upgrade you to a complimentary suite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. It wasn't expected, but because I'm a loyal member, they're recognizing that and giving me something without asking for it. When I check into a United flight, we have complimentary upgraded you to business class because I constantly fly with them. So it's not necessarily the points and all of that. I am now willing to give up the experience, kind of to go with you, but it's complimentary. When I had Simba around, one company I think that did loyalty really well, and I know you don't like Kibble that much, but I fed him Origin. And what Origin did with Pest Supply Plus and all of these other stores is for every 11 or 12 bag that you buy, you automatically get one free. And I didn't have to scan anything. I didn't have to do anything. Pest Supply Plus would just have it in their system and they would mark the bag free. Now, again, I didn't buy Origin for any other reason except for I thought it was the best kibble on the market, but I still got something from it.
Sure.
And I think with brands, and I agree with a lot of what you said, but like I think where rewards are specifically important is when a product becomes a commodity, then you're like, how do I keep that person's attention? And if you have somebody's, I don't know, $50, $60, $100 with your store, they probably want to going to spend that with you opposed to the alternative that may have another product a few cents cheaper or more expensive.
Okay, so I'm hearing the two of you go and then thinking about.
I've got a very different take to all of you guys.
Okay.
I say not. Okay.
Okay.
And well, here's why I say not. I do believe that loyalty programs are important. I actually do, but I don't believe it's a hot SaaS space. And what I mean by this is this: everybody has a different way they want to operate loyalty, and no one size fits all in this market. And that's really truthful. There's a lot of versions of it. And I'd say not because I think AI is very much, to your point, a replaceable component of loyalty. Because everybody, if you want to do it for, what you said, it's giving an 18th order free, you don't need to buy a software for that. You can probably program that, right?
Yeah.
So that to me is a not, because it's like, hey, the market is not going to hold on because there's too many use cases to make it self-fulfilling. You almost have to verticalize what you do as a loyalty program now. I'm loyalty program for airlines. I'm loyalty program for hotels. I'm creating loyalty programs for e-commerce companies on subscriptions. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to get deeper because it's not a broad thing anymore. The whole point system, you don't need AI. AI is going to be able to solve that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my thing before John, you go.
The thing is, to me, though, is there's two perspectives here. I think from entering the SaaS space, is it like a hot...
That's what this is the question here.
Yeah.
It's on SaaS-based e-commerce. Is it hot or not?
Yeah, I think to enter it right now, it is not. Like, I agree with that. But I'm saying there's still, for existing companies, I think it's still a hot space because there's still a need and a want, especially in a very competitive market.
Sure.
1, 2, 3 into the fold. Guess who it is? Omnisend is at the door. Tools that'll make your brand break through. Pretty damn awesome, just ask the crew. Trusted by over 125,000, 5,800 reviews, you can count it. Go ahead and try it like Elf on the Shelf. The results you'll get will speak for themselves. Do their best to impress with their SMS. Do their best to address an email address. So forget juggling apps, this ain't a circus. Omnisend was built just for you with a purpose. So what are we doing? Why the delay? Head to omnisend.com today. Hey. Yeah.
I mean, you could say that, but at the TAM level, when you think about the market right now and you look at who the players are in the market, there's a ceiling. There's a ceiling and what people have been able to achieve in ARR in this business, and they've been around for years and years. And that tells me something. Anytime there's a ceiling, it means that there's a problem there, because just like mobile applications is a perfect example, there's been a glass ceiling that's hit for a while and people aren't breaking through it because it's not special anymore, and AI and different options will be able to get you out.
And not just because it's not special. I would also argue a lot of these companies, to all the points that you guys said, especially you and Brian, they have been devalued extremely.
That's correct, yes.
But they're still charging premium prices, and people are now looking at these secondary options that I could build a rewards app, I kid you not, in 2 weeks. I'm not saying I could scale it.
For yourself, though, if you're running just your brand and only your brand, 2 weeks, you could build something.
In 2 weeks, I could build something, we can get it going. But my point is too, like, it also takes maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever the case is, to maybe enter a Shopify ecosystem with that app and outprice everybody. And what happens? But I think brands are also being very sensitive to how much you're paying for a commodity SaaS product.
Sure. That's a good take. John, you have any feedback?
No, I'm good. You guys hit on everything.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the problem that I see, and this is my simple answer, is everybody who's running any kind of loyalty program, they're almost always hacking something together inside that program because they're trying to make it fit the way they want to see it happen. And that's why I think it's not. And I think that people are going to start developing their own versions, and AI is going to make it easier. All right, let's continue moving on. Number 3 is review and ratings. Reviews build social proof, influencing purchasing decisions, user-generated content. It's clear critical for e-commerce success. We all agree on that. Now, here's the facts, right? And we'll just use Shopify. They sunsetted their reviews product, and other people have product, and reviews, as you guys know, in ratings, they spectrum from free all the way to thousands of dollars that are ultimately there. And the question, I guess, all depending on the one thing that I've seen in this market that holds the only defensible moat that I've seen in this market when it comes to reviews and ratings is syndication of very certain retailers that have tied in bonds. I'm talking about like Walmart, Target, like these companies. You can only go to one company to get that syndication, or you have to work with a company that's licensing that syndication today. So that's the only thing that I see as a tight bubble there. Otherwise, I think that it's an interesting one. So I'm going to say hot or not. I'm going to start over there on Amer. Reviews and ratings, hot or not?
I'm going to do a double take on this. On-site reviews.
Okay.
I think
like scrubbing Instagram for reviews and stuff like that. Is that what you mean?
No, meaning like
someone like the Trust Pilots.
Like a Trust Pilots.
Okay.
And
a third party.
Yeah, the Yelps of the world. They used to be like third-party reviews. I think it's going to become really hot because I think all the search engines for recommendations and everything, they're not going to look at the reviews on your sites because unfortunately a lot of brands suppress negative reviews and just leave the top ones. So I think AI and search engines, everything like that, moving forward to make recommendations, and I've already seen of this, are going to look at third parties to say, hey, these are trusted, validated, unsuppressed reviews, and that's what they're going to cater to the public.
John?
Yeah, if we're going to break it down like that, I think on-site is not. I just don't.
Do you even believe it as a consumer often with on-site reviews? I feel like most times we question if it's curated, right?
I'm numb towards it.
Yeah. I got a hack for that in a second.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead.
You're on.
Hot or not?
Not the way it is now. I think reviews, and this is gonna sound kind of like way off left field, like, hey, we should move this guy to Shutter Island. I think that the way that buying power is shifting to our millennials and especially Gen Zs, reviews are going to be the only ones that are going to be trusted are going to be video reviews. And video reviews I've seen, so what I started doing the past few months is I replaced every single review in our email flows with a video from either an affiliate or someone that we reach out to that just like talks about our food on their social.
Sure.
And I link a video to their social. So what that does is now the consumer is able to watch that video, but then also go to their platform, whatever that's Instagram, their profile, and actually get validation that it's coming from that. I think down the road, seeing 5 stars, no matter if it's on Trustpilot or your website, with verbiage under a 5-star emojicon is not going to be anything that the Gen Zs are going to take as validation, no matter if it's on or off site. I think we're moving towards a video review era with Gen Zs taking all the buying power. They want to see who said that. And if they can't
they don't want to read it.
They don't want to read it. Nope. Those in 20 years from now, we can like pull this back up. Those text 5-star days, no matter on or off site, will be over.
Interesting.
Do you think there's going to be skepticism that these are still potentially curated or paid for or whatever the case is?
Well, I think that's why you leave them the ability, like we see the clicks on all the reviews that we put in email. We don't put any text reviews in email anymore. It's all video. And you're able to see the clicks. And when they're clicking, they're going to their profile, right? So they're able to see that.
But like for me, I would still maybe be hesitant when I see somebody, well, is this just an
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, hey, did Oma's pay Leanne to say that Oma's is great? Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. That's a good one. I mean, I think as I'm with you guys, I think it's a not in many ways. There's some hot elements to it, but overall, contextually on a website, not. I don't know about the video one. I haven't seen that much success in that. I think that's a really interesting perspective there. But at this point, I believe that AI is going to be able to help solve this. It's really not a hard thing to build or bring in-house eventually. Let's keep going. Subscription, billing, and management. For brands with subscription models, managing recurring payments and retention is a key staple of revenue. Could AI-driven billing system optimize subscription retention rates, predict churn, offer communication, manage data? Could we see that changing? I don't know, but hot or not? Let's start with you, John.
So yes, I think AI is going to improve the subscription and billing platforms.
But you don't see it replacing it.
I don't see it replacing, and I would say that it's actually hot because of how much competition is out there. Like clearly there's a reason why there's so many brands fighting for this revenue.
Sure.
So many new ones that have popped up the past couple years.
New one every few months.
So how do you feel? Same thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, to me, that goes hand in hand with email. I think
it's too complex.
It's very complex. There's so many different inner workings, not only from the billing side of it, but from the analytical side of it. And then now I think Recharge building out like a retention suite like that. There's so much that can be done within the subscription software that hasn't been prioritized or utilized yet, especially even by the biggest brands like Recharge. So they haven't even hit what they can do themselves.
Sure.
Let alone like in a few years, like AI trying to steal steal some of it. I think it'll help them maybe develop more in software assets to offer brands. But yeah, I'm saying hot here.
Mayor?
I'm going to say hard, not necessarily because there's so many people out there or anything like that. I think the reason there's so many subscription platforms out there right now because Shopify made it easy with their checkout integration.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily because but I think it's hot from another perspective. I think we're going to see over the next maybe 3 to 5 years, it kind of plays in with the loyalty as well, shift towards memberships and loyalty through memberships type of a concept. I think with the cost of just being a brand, there's going to be more desperate measures taken on how to keep customers. And I think membership is going to be a way where I think brands are probably going to double down to say, hey, we're going to give you really competitive pricing, but we want to make 100% margin on this $10 a month, $15 a month, or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm hot on it. I think it's just going to help support it. I think it's just too complex of a tool.
Yeah.
And I don't think brands have the option to go off and replace it with a tool because it's just got complexity to it and data. I think that happens. And really, there's billing and PCI compliance. There's a lot of things that come into subscription management.
Yeah, but with Shopify makes it easier. I mean, you can spin up an app in a couple of weeks too now because of PCI management. But the problem is the retention to these complexities. Those are really, really hard to build
There's
out.
a lot of other things that come with it. Okay, I think we're good on that one. Let's move to the next one because I think this one's a good one. Personalization engines. We've all heard that word, personalization. The dream goal is to be able to take a customer who has made a purchase and recommend a great product for their next purchase to give them a really great shopping experience. AI-driven personalizations already in play, but how much more? Is this something that they are going to develop and they're going to start using and more people will have? Or is it you think something that AI can completely replace, right? So is it hot in that you can see still being an important part of the stack, or is it not in that you can see AI replacing it? What do you think?
I'm going to actually defer to Amir here and ask him a question at the same time. Now, if we talk about the personalization journey with the customer purchase journey with OMAs now, right? So our goal is to push people through personalization curation of their subscription, right? Based off of allergies, size, weight of their animal. If they want to feed every day, maybe half of the day, and they want to do kibble in the other meal. So there's a lot of different like answers off of this like complex tree, right? And I know there's apps out there in the Shopify ecosystem where essentially you can plug in and build out your own tree and have that be a curated response. But is when you guys are going to build out, hopefully soon, the Almost Pride website.
This is in January, so it's all done now, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, February is going to be done.
February? Yeah, so it'll still be worked
almost
on.
done.
As you're working on finishing the website right now as we speak, is there a huge gap in regards to not only what I can do from the app standpoint for someone to plug in their own tree in this regard, or is there a huge or not a big gap for what you're going to be finishing building for us?
It depends on the approach that we take. So, and this is what I mean. So I actually hate the space. The reason I hate this space is because there's a very few players. It's a very saturated space, but very few players do it right. When we talk about artificial intelligence, when we talk about data, cross-pollinations and things like that. So in my opinion, like, for example, what we could do as an example is we could sit down and figure out like, hey, if somebody picks I'm going to use American Bulldog because I know about Simba, and Simba did not take chicken very well when he ate it. So if you pick, oh, my dog is a Bulldog, we could have ChatGPT or whatever AI say, hey, we know the Bulldogs suffer with all these things. Does your dog have issue with these proteins, as an example? Now you're leading the conversation, opposed to, hey, pick your dog breed, and now tell us all the things and click on them.
Yeah, that's first party data. That's not, I mean, it's still personalization, but it's not really leveraging AI. It's just data points.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, is that data points, but we're not keeping those data points necessarily in the system where we're outputting them. Based on somebody's recommendation request, we can fill the information with AI.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, like that could be like a concept. And I'm just, you kind of blind.
So are you hot or not on this?
Yeah, because I don't know the gap. I don't know the space well enough.
There's tools.
The basic first party style of personalization are very easy to build. They're a commodity.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with these are like based basically on Boolean logic, if there's done that and all of that stuff. I don't know if an app that does like the personalization quiz really well from my like AI standpoint.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that's probably something like we would have to teach it or whatever we inherit. I'm not hot on it because I think it's done wrong.
Okay.
And I think it's been done wrong for the last 15, 20 years. My big point are two things. With dog food is a little bit different, but a lot of users do not want to give you all the information up front. One of the things we did with a shoe business a while ago is every time somebody would like go to the checkout, log in, sign up and whatever, and we tied in loyalty to it, we would give them coupons or gift cards for every piece of information they would give us. I'm size 10, I'm shopping for this person, this is my favorite color, this is my favorite brand. Then we would take all of those data points, hold them as meta fields in Shopify, and from Shopify, we would push them into Klaviyo and do automated segmentation. So when somebody has Nike on sale, we would know who likes Nike. When we have
that's first party data.
Yeah, first party data.
Yeah.
But all of these personalization tools kind of do it like this, but then they kind of like stop at a certain level where you have to manually get involved.
Yep.
And then the ones that say it's AI, it's not really AI. It's just like very loose, like it's more of, what's the term? Not artificial intelligence, but
Machine learning.
Machine learning.
I mean, that is what AI is.
Not quite, but like, how can I put it? It's not machine learning.
You're just thinking it's like a MySQL call, like you're thinking like it's a database call?
Yeah, I mean, like for like recommendations, when you might like this section, example, to a lot of
product recommendations. Yeah.
You look at a brand as an example, they give you a recommendation for other things of their brand.
Sure.
Like, where are you getting that information from? Like, you have to leverage something or some behavior about the user that you can actually leverage on your website and have a dedicated output.
Interesting.
I haven't seen like any of that. Like, there's no harnessing of users' order history, data, behavior. I'll use this. This would be a great example. Let's say you go on BattleBox, an example, and let's say you and your wife are great enthusiasts. Let's say you buy something for your wife as a present, and let's say her birthday is, I don't know, September 30th. Well, great AI would recognize next time you come, hey, are you shopping again for your wife? Here's some recommendations.
You're talking about on-site personalization.
Yeah, on-site, yeah. That's what I deal with mostly. There's nothing like that out there, or at least that I know this really well.
Gotcha. John?
I'm so confused.
You're so confused? You don't know?
No, I mean, I'm going to go not. We've played around with some stuff, and it seems like it's a very crowded space, and it doesn't seem like anything's that good. And I get the ick from the whole area.
So I'm going hot, actually, because I believe with AI, finally, we can actually source the data correctly to actually make real machine learning predictions using AI. And I actually think it's hot because we finally have the ability to start doing it. And the reason why in the past, over the last 5 years, has been a buzzword is we all want it. We all understand what we're trying to drive, but we couldn't do it because the technology wasn't there. This was a problem of people trying to sell technology that wasn't existing because we wanted to sell the dream of what you want. We want Brian, every time he comes to my website, right, to see a certain curated product line. Anytime he adds a product to a cart, we want to know his history and be able to deploy the right products that he might want to buy as an addition to his thing. What else would you like to add to your cart, right? Amazon does this great. They do a great job showing what people bought similar when they bought this.
But that's possible.
It's not good right now. And that's why John feels the way he is. I believe with the big, large language models right now that are occurring right now, that's being developed, that it can become better because you can actually create a true one-on-one experience because it won't require the same type of software. To your point, they're using if-else's right now in Boolean. That's why it doesn't work right now. If they select dog food soft, then deploy this, right? That's wrong. It should say, is it soft? And then it should be checking against their order history, their browse history, their cart history of what their value, checking against the rest of the data that they have available to them across the store, and then making a prediction around it.
Yeah, so, right now it's just A equals B.
Correct. It should be A equals B, C, D, E, F, G equals W.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So in my opinion, the technology's been there. The problem also we have to think about where these apps get extremely criticized on, and I'm one of them to do it, is site speed. Now, if you have these complex computations that need to happen in a sliver of a second, what are the server costs and what is all they're going to cost to make that output? Two, if you don't have that server power to do that, how long is it going to take for the section to load?
That's exactly what I'm bullish on right now, though. I'm saying that this is going to get solved this next year with all the new LLM activity that's going on.
But you have OpenAI losing a ton of money still.
That's okay.
Because of the cost of running those servers.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay. That's just part of the gig. So
I think we're like 3 to 5 years out on that.
Okay. Well, I think it just gets better and better next year. I'm hot on it. I think that more people are recognizing the need to drive that personalized experience, and more people are going to spend more time in the sector of data than they have in the past instead of just doing Boolean if-else statement. All right, let's move to the next one. This one's a good one. Customer service help desk tools. Customer service being so important to help your customers, brand loyalty, helping upsell, all that stuff. AI-powered chatbot. You know what's funny as we go into this, right? You guys remember let's say 2015, 2016, 17, around that area? Chatbots for the rage, guys. People are like, this chatbot. But what we had was a bunch of A equals B problems, right? And that was the problem that happened chatbots. Now, with the AI that's risen, chatbots are no longer A plus B. It's A equals independent thinking, scrubbing across your website, your pages, your historical, and making decisions onto what that answer might be. So are you hot or not on the fact that we look into the future of how customer service will be handled? I'm going to start with you, John.
So I haven't recently demoed this, but I demoed it last year for a bunch of people and it still wasn't good. It's still, I could tell.
Gotcha. You could tell that they're AI.
Yeah.
But is it a problem though if you know it's AI as long as it's solving a problem?
Yeah, I think it is a problem.
Okay.
I think it's irritating.
Okay.
It's irritating to people that it's not a real human.
So you don't see AI taking this role over next year? You don't, or this year, I guess?
No, I think not this year. I think there, at some point there will be an inflection point where we won't be able to tell, and it'll be just as good, if not better, than a human. And the consumer doesn't notice and doesn't know. At that point, it will, obviously, but we're not there yet. I can still tell. I'm not.
Yeah, listen, I think it'll be there for customer service, but not customer experience. I think your relative generalized questions that every brand's chat bot, customer software, whether it's gorgeous, whatever, get, for the most part, brands get the same 10 questions asked.
Where's my order?
Where's my order?
Where's my order? How
you
do I
have a
cancel?
discount?
Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That can't get much better. I think we can all agree there's an output for each of those questions. The questions that the software will try to replace, in my eyes, will still only be effective with human interaction. Specific questions now, obviously I'm in a nutrition side, food side of the sector here, but a lot of the questions that actually move needles for us are never questions that can be answered, will never be able to be answered with AI or one word responses.
At some point they will, though.
At some point, yeah, sure, maybe. But I think also where multiple different scenarios occur that they want to be able to speak to someone in order to get that like gratification or satisfaction from, where it's very hard to get gratification and satisfaction through machines.
Interesting. What about you?
Cold as you can get, and I'm gonna take it from like a little bit of a different.
So is that a not?
No, yeah. I'm real cold on it. The reason I'm really cold on it is from agency standpoint, when I'm troubleshooting an issue with a SaaS solution. When I see a freaking AI bot pop up, I want to poke my eyes out, because what the AI bot does for somebody like me who's experienced, it tells me, oh, did you see this point of the documentation? This point of the documentation? Yes, I did. That's why I'm here, because I couldn't figure it out with your documentation, and now I have to answer 40 questions before you allow me to talk to an agent. Like, I cannot stand that. I think as an AI bot too, for somebody out there, why don't you freaking recognize who you're talking to first? Like, hey, this is an agency, this is a partner, they've been working for, they probably know the answer, and there's something just extremely technical that you got to talk to. So like for me, from a SaaS standpoint, SaaS company, like it is so far out when I get on anything, and even like with a couple of tools that we use for human resources, everything, I absolutely hate it. And I'm to a point like I would leave a tool that I'm using if they do not improve either their AI or just put a human as a first touch point or whatever the case is.
No, I agree with you guys. I think I'm with Brian on this. Like there's like 10 questions that they answer, and you should use AI to help that out and move it. But I don't think you can ever replace human ingenuity with customer service. I think customer service is just a special animal, and it's always going to be a cost center. I don't think it does. I think that there will be escalations, maybe less people you need because the ticket volume will be less. Maybe the efficiency increases, but I don't think it goes away.
My curiosity is just a quick question for you guys, and I don't know how this would be played, especially say in the nutritional space. Let's say if AI does roll out and you start using it, and AI misinforms you something about your food, and it gets somebody in my family or my dog or whomever sick. Are you guys liable for it, or is the AI provider liable for it?
That's a great question.
I'm assuming the brand,
Yeah, it's probably falls
We're
back
the
on
ones
brand.
that implemented the technology to output the answer. So that would be on us. But yeah, I mean, that's very true. And like we're going through, like I think I mentioned it before, we're going through certification programs now that'll be finished up this month. Our 2 customer service reps, they'll be officially certified in raw feeding canine nutrition. Can't certify AI to do that.
That's true. All right, let's move on. I think that was a good needle topic there. Payments and checkout optimization tools. I'm talking about, I'm sure you guys have seen all the apps that you can add on to checkout and your process to optimize your tools, from shipping notification updates to little widgets to add on shipping protection, all these things that are happening. Could AI tools optimize payment processing? Like, could it create better recommendations, predict checkout bottlenecks, improve user experiences? What are your thoughts on that? How do you look at those tools?
100%. I mean, I would love for Shopify to take the kind of the lead with this. So Shopify has done an incredible job with ShopPay. It has huge adoption. I think it's like 150 million users on ShopPay. Why?
Huge adoption, but they're also shoving it down everyone's throat.
Well, that's why there's adoption. But they're not shoving it down the end user's throat.
What?
End users adopting
What?
150 million users.
They're not
Forced them.
putting it down an end user's throat. It's literally the first thing you see when you hit the checkout page. It's literally top. It's
In
above
fact, it pops
Amazon
up
Pay.
if you've
Depends
ever
what's
used
above.
it.
I mean, you have Apple Pay, you have
Yeah, and it's at the top, and then if you've ever used it before, it automatically goes with it. No, I love it. It's great, but they shove it. It's shoved hard down everyone's throat.
I love it.
I don't know why I
think
hate about
I think they did the right
sick.
thing with it because it's helping brands.
Yeah.
We've seen increases in conversion rates because of the adoption to it. But my thing is with that, let's say if I constantly use a credit card on Shopify, maybe you populate a shop credit card field. If I constantly use Apple Pay, you show me the Apple Pay right away. Just simplify it. I'm the type of guy, like every single time I see Apple Pay, I use Apple. I actually don't use Shop Pay. I use Apple Pay, just something else.
You don't use ShopPay, you use
I
Apple
don't.
Pay. Wow.
Yeah, I don't use it. I use
You know him, Mayor. He goes against the grain.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think AI could take checkout experiences to a whole nother level. I think all of this stuff, and we've done stuff for you, it's static. It doesn't have a lot more, or you can do end of statements and all of that stuff. But I think that's maybe even the next evolution in e-com is checkouts.
John,
Still heated. I don't know why I'm so mad at Shopify.
why don't you leave and go to BigCommerce?
Yeah, it says,
No,
it says nobody ever.
No. I don't know if they've ever had anyone leave to go to BigCommerce before.
They have, and they came back real quick.
I definitely had customers who left.
No, so kidding. Love Shop. It was just a joke. I'm going not on this. So I think we went down this rabbit hole of Shop Pay. But the reality is it's a very, very, very crowded space. There's so many. You and I were chatting at the airport about all these tools. That one gentleman that just started over somewhere. The reality is it's such a crowded space. The customer experience is pretty effed up over it. Like,
Well, it's because now people are layering tool on tool on tool.
yeah,
and
like I
it's
check
a little
out
bit of
and
everything.
I'm sure to buy this
What's
single
crowded
thing.
in checkouts?
Dude, from upsells
Dude, are you
to
serious?
this upsell to this shipping notification add-on, this process add-on,
Yeah,
this.
I then hit checkout and I have confirmation page and I'm sold something else, and then I'm sold something from a different company
third
over
party
here.
now. Thank you
Yeah.
pages.
That's been that's my point. Is like it's crowded from that standpoint, but it's not crowded in intelligent checkout.
Right, and that's why I'm
Nobody's
saying
doing it.
not.
Yeah.
And
You're
it's-
saying the right. You guys are saying the same.
yeah, we're saying
thing.
the same thing.
You're saying the same
Oh, I
thing, Amir.
misunderstood
Don't,
you.
Yeah.
don't need to argue today. All right, Brian.
What do you mean? This is the point of podcast. Argue a little bit.
Is it? Should we fight?
We should be
I'm on. I don't need to keep going down the rabbit hole. I'm on the same page.
Okay, we're gonna
Right,
move
thank
on
you.
from this one because I don't think there is much there. All right.
Where's my love?
Here's another one. Inventory and order management. Okay. I don't know crap about this anymore, but I'm going to go in there. But there's a lot of things. ERPs, right? We're talking about ERPs. There's a lot of companies that are helping inventory management, order fulfillment, avoid out of stock, overselling. Could AI start enhancing forecasting, reducing human error, fully optimizing supply chain order management for e-commerce?
Open for the taking.
You think it's open for
Oh
the
my
taking?
God. Oh
Yeah,
my.
Do you
no
think
one-
it's
no
a
one's doing it
legacy
really
world
well.
that needs disruption?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
So you guys think that there's an open area for here?
Oh,
so,
gosh.
so hot right now.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
Okay.
Oh man, no one's built.
No.
The best ERPs out there bring you to around 70%, right? Like, and I feel like it's that case because I forgot what software or sector we were talking about where I think it was loyalty. There's so many different use cases. There's so many different examples. Every business operates their procurement, inventory management on the ERP side of the company completely different, even people in the same space. So it's so hard to create an ERP that anyone can sort of use out of the box, right? Even if an ERP company were to go down the pet food sector and make a raw pet food sector ERP, it's so drastically different the way that we handle everything in comparison to, our competitor. So I think it's so drastically different for every company. And that's, John, I think I called you a couple months ago talking about, it's like, we have to got to use people here still, right? Like that's the best way
Let's
to
go to that next number 9 because that one ties into it. Shipping and
does.
fulfillment solutions.
Yeah.
It's similar, right? ERP is a little bit different. It's inventory management, but this is shipping and fulfillment. 3 PLs, 2 PLs, 1 PL, 4 PLs. I don't even know what those honestly mean, but
The more PLs, the more it costs you, essentially.
that's what I realized.
what I
More,
tell
the
people.
more number P's you have, the more expensive
Yeah.
things get. But realistically, could we see this becoming a better thing? Better routing, better optimization, better predictions, better timing? I mean, how do we think about it? Is this another hot category in that, like,
I think the major carriers, right? Let's call it USPS, UPS, FedEx, and Amazon.
yeah,
There's
they're
the
doing a
big-
good job with that, right?
Yeah, like I think they're all probably very, very all in with AI for assisting with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
I think everyone agrees on that one
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Okay. Number 10. affiliate marketing platforms. Now, it can be considered loyalty, it can be considered tracking. Again, this is another one of those tools that has a million ways that you can look at affiliate marketing. Do we see AI? Do we think about this as a hot category? I know we think about it as a hot category. We've talked about this a couple pods ago. But do we see, let's go to the AI part. Do we see AI disrupting this market? Do we see AI tracking things? Do we see AI building tools for business?
I don't.
You don't? Okay. How about you, Amir?
I think it could. I don't think it's near future, but I think far future. I think there could be a lot of AI things. For example, the way you kind of found Brandon and made Brandon part. I think AI will come to a point from a contextual standpoint, be able to look potentially at people's social media pages, everything that they do, their life essentially, and say, hey, this could be a good spokesperson for the
so
company.
like an AI identifier, like identifying affiliates, potential affiliates. Okay, that's an interesting way of thinking about it. So you see it available that AI could help the market, but you don't see it as a replacement.
No, I think so the challenge here for me with SaaS is, I think SaaS is getting weaker if you don't adopt AI. So I think there's like
But the argument right now is that AI is not showing a revenue monetization piece back to the SaaS companies, right? Like that's the big thing about Salesforce that's happened over the last years. They went all in, adopted a bunch of AI, but they have not been able to make more money off of it.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And I think the big problem is, and I'll use some of these platforms, I'll use email platforms. Oh, we've included AI as part of our platform. The AI is, we're going to give you suggestions for subject lines.
No, that's not.
Yeah,
Or like
yeah.
being able to type in a segment builder. Like these things are just simple tasks.
Yeah. But I think AI from like an email, and I think we spoke about it before, they get you like 80% there. And then the other, I think you said this, 10 or 20% takes you as much then to build out an email. So why not just do it right from the start? So that's the thing I think they're missing. A lot of companies took the buzzword, attached it to a field or whatever in their platform. They're like, oh, we're an AI company. No, you're freaking not. To me, AI is when I log in, for example, for BattleBox, hey, John, I'm your personal assistant. Here's 10 things I found yesterday that pushed everything where John doesn't have to hunt for answers. Or, logging in and say, hey, what happened here? And you get an answer. You know what I mean?
So you're saying I should not start an AI omni-channel personalization software?
Correct.
Hit all the trigger words. You're like, what do you do? Oh, just all of that.
And I do giveaways.
And I do giveaways on the side. With a little bit of loyalty.
Free AI.
Free AI. Any last thoughts there, Brian, to add to the affiliate marketing piece? Do you see AI disrupting, improving, doing anything special?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, so this particular company that we use, oh man, I'm not a fan. And I think the basics of, we're talking tracking, we're talking curated lists of affiliates to target, we're talking like analytical reports, breakdowns, all of that stuff to me seems very easily disruptible by AI. It's easy. I mean, all you're doing is...
It's improvable, right? Not just disruptible.
Yeah. Improvable and disruptible.
I think it's a hot space. I think that tools may start doing things. Like I can see it like tracking your affiliate performance and basic management, doing data stuff for you a little bit more. You're right. But I don't think it goes away. I think it just changes and evolves with AI.
Yeah.
You still use them?
Yeah, we're
Stuck in contract?
Yeah, unfortunately.
They only do year contracts. Though.
Yeah, not bad.
Almost over
2
there.
months.
All right. As I wrap this up, any category I didn't bring to the table here that you think we should have talked about as a hot or not topic?
I think we're good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that is a wrap. That's episode 29, SaaS hot or not. If you enjoyed this pod, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend, and tell us if you have anything that you would love us to talk about. And follow us on social, TikTok, X, IG, LinkedIn, YouTube. Just type Awesome Pod to find us. And don't forget to leave us a review and rating on your favorite podcast streaming. That's how we know that you're enjoying our episodes. And remember, we are a video first podcast. We fly location to location to shoot together, not only as a team, but also to increase our dynamics and have a really high quality experience. So check us out on YouTube if you're enjoying this. And don't forget to subscribe to Awesome Pod. We'll be alerted and join our newsletter. Next episode, we're talking 2025 and our goals. That's what we're going to talk about. It'd be new year, new goals.
Yeah.
Let's put our words out there and tell people what we're working on. I know we talk a lot about other people's stuff, but I think it'd be cool to share what we're working on, what our goals are for 2025. And I would love to kind of put it out there, especially me. I'm in the thick of a new business. I think that's really cool. You guys are scaling in different ways. You're about to be on Shopify, and we're expecting 10x conversions, right? Because Amir promised you that, or else your money back.
10x.
Right? Is that what he said? Your money back?
10x.
Or your money back. And then he also said we're going to do some sort of like
and a free car too. I
rev
think.
share with other businesses that he built
Yeah, new
websites
car.
for.
New
And a free car.
Yeah.
A lot of things. If his
All that
conversion
stuff.
doesn't increase by 10 times. Yeah, from BigCommerce.
Yeah.
No pressure, dude. All right, guys. We are the Awesome Pod. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next pod.
Welcome to the awesome pod where we talked a lot. E-com was the path that we walked a lot. But now the question is, will you subscribe or not? Ha!